Is there a thing for self-representation? I know that is a third option as well.
Of course you can represent yourself. You can do open heart surgery on yourself too.
And right out of the gate, the judge drops the analogy of the day. Yes, you technically can represent yourself, but just like doing open heart surgery solo, it's usually a terrible idea. This sets the tone. The court is already warning her that confidence does not equal competence. Question for you. Have you ever seen self-representation actually end well?
Ma'am, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, ma'am. Okay.
On November 14th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a trespasser call at a business in Harris County, Texas. The officers made contact with a witness who stated the defendant was asked to leave the business but was refusing to leave. The officer walked over to the defendant and tried to inform her that if she refused to leave, she would be considered trespassing. The defendant would not listen and did not want to leave. The officer attempted to detain the defendant and place her in handcuffs, but the defendant kept pulling away, refusing to give the officer her hands.
Here's the legal crux of the case. Even if someone believes they have a right to be somewhere, once the property owner or their agent says, leave, refusing can turn into criminal trespass. Add pulling away, bracing legs, grabbing an officer. That's where interference with public duties comes in. This isn't about opinions, it's about actions.
The defendant also braced her legs on the ground to prevent the officer from removing her, and the officer had to use a reasonable amount of force to place the defendant in handcuffs and remove her. The defendant braced her legs against the seat and door and prevented the officer from properly detaining her in the marked unit. And once in the unit, the defendant grabbed and pulled the officer's shirt, trying to pull herself out of the unit.
Okay. What store is this that she was in?
I have the address. I'll look to see if they have a store name listed.
This is where the courtroom dynamic gets complicated. The judge is trying to assess bond conditions, not litigate every grievance at once. Listing medical conditions may explain stress, but legally, it doesn't excuse resistance. Courts focus on what happened, not just why someone feels wrong.
Your Honor, ma'am, if I may speak.
Now's not the time. I mean, I've got a bunch of DAs here. Anything that you say, they're going to use it against you to prove guilt. You'll get the opportunity, I promise. Just now's not that time. How old are you, ma'am?
I'm 30 years old.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
I don't have a job. I'm disabled.
What's the nature of your disability?
I got cardiac web, a hematoma, deteriorating spine, hole in my heart, pulled over ligaments, bilateral kidneys, asthma, cancer.
How do you support yourself?
Currently at this moment, I'm supposed to be receiving, I got my Social Security claim number, but they refused to give me my award letter. And also, I was currently supposed to be residing at Vermilion Apartments, and my contract, I guess, was switched.
I want to know about the case. I just want to know how do you eat? How do you get money?
I don't.
I need you to fill out an application for me, and then I'll take a look to see if you qualify. As a condition of your bond, don't go back to this place.
It appears to be a housing facility.
Okay. Do not go back to this place, ma'am.
So I can't go back to Houston Housing Authority.
Whatever this place where they were trying to trespass you from, don't go back, ma'am. I'll provide you a lawyer today, and we'll talk about how we go forward, but I don't want it to be more bad blood, and I don't want you to go back to jail. If you go back, they don't want you there.
That's police brutality.
There's got to be some other reasonable way that we can work things out, and we'll try. But you got to give it time, let things cool down. If you go right back after this issue now, you're begging for trouble.
Well, my contract is supposed to be terminated on 11/30, meaning I still have an active contract. So what am I supposed to be doing about that in regards to that? I mean, I have my paperwork to prove it.
I can't give you legal advice, but we'll have you talk to a lawyer and figure out how we go forward. Okay? Mm-hmm. For the time being, don't go back though.
Okay.
Please, because it's only begging for bad blood. Okay? Yeah, so I need you to fill out an application for me. I'll have you sign a receipt of Victoria, and then we'll just have you take a seat while we find your lawyer.
And there it is again. The self-representation question returns, and the judge shuts it down with humor and warning. Courts allow self-rep, but they do not slow down for it. Same rules, same consequences. This is the judge practically begging her not to sabotage herself.
Okay, please.
Flores.
Invoke my constitutional amendment rights as well as my civil and civil rights.
You to remain silent? Yes, sir. No, sir. Okay.
Is there a problem?
Honestly feel threatened by this courtroom.
And this is not the circus.
I'm
This is not a playroom. This is a court.
I'm
And
very coherent and competent.
no one says you were incompetent, but you have bond conditions that you're supposed to live up to. And we've given you so much as we've also given you a lawyer, and you're supposed to treat everyone here with respect. And when you don't, there's serious consequences.
Is there a thing for self-representation? I know that is a third option as well.
Of course you can represent yourself. You can do open heart surgery on yourself too.
Well, I ask for fair representation in a speedy trial.
No one here does anything to hurt anyone. The only thing that we're concerned about here is public safety and that everybody gets treated fairly and with respect. That
Life for
includes,
life and safety against Harris County.
I don't know what to tell you about there, but you need to take that with whoever you feel threatened by. But
Harris County.
here, we need to protect everybody in Harris County.
Me and my children.
We've given you a lawyer. I want you to treat him with respect. And I want you to treat our clerks with respect, our bailiffs, and us. I'm not asking for much. The only
I deserve
condition
the
I
same
put on
thing.
you now is to not go back to the location where you were allegedly trespassed from. They don't want you there. So that's why I'm telling you now, don't go back. That's the only condition that we have.
This moment is critical. The judge acknowledges she may have had a right to be there initially, but once behavior escalates and she's told to leave, that right disappears. This is a huge misunderstanding people have. Rights can be lost through conduct, not just paperwork.
In regards to my housing, which is my documentation right here, that should be submitted into my file. My stuff is supposed to be terminated on the 30th of this month, which I had probable cause to actually go and speak with Gary Baxter in regards to my housing contract. I also emailed informal hearing before November the 1st and haven't got a response back. So I had every reason to be at Houston Housing Authority.
You may have had a right to be there, but at some point, they're well within their right to say, look, we don't want you here anymore. You are creating a disturbance, so we would like you to leave.
Can y'all subpoena the cameras?
You can do whatever you want. You're going from here to here to here to here to here. Listen to what I'm saying and focus on this in the now. Don't start thinking of something in the future or something because you're not listening to what's happening now. You may have had a right to be there, but at some point you lost that because of the way you may have treated everyone and they didn't want you there anymore.
I'd like to file a hate crime against Harris County, the city of Houston.
Okay. You hear what I just said?
Hmm?
What did I just say?
Oh, I can't go back to 2640 Fountain View Drive in regards to it being my property, but have an actual,
I believe so. It's the Houston Housing.
yeah, the Houston Housing Authority have an actual reasons
Now,
to
that's
be there.
not to say you may send them an email. You could send them a fax. I don't know if that would include calling. As far as trespassing is concerned,
I can look into it, Judge. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was wrongfully
they can
evicted.
have an issue if she calls over there. That I don't know.
Wrongfully
The notice here
terminated.
that is kind of the subject of this incident does give her multiple options: email, mail, fax, phone. And she did send those emails. She was,
I don't know now with them telling her they don't want her back. How does
well,
that play
if
into?
they haven't asked for a no contact order and there's no specific person, I would say.
Exactly.
Because she
No response back from my
she still has
emails.
not been, she lives in, she has housing assistance through the Houston Housing Authority, Judge. And it says her assistance will be terminated on the 30th. So I mean, this is where she lives of this month. So she's still got a couple more days to try to resolve whether gets to continue, having housing assistance.
The only other thing, what's your last name again?
Simmons-Irvin, ERVIN.
You're very passive aggressive in the way you come off.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm a victim of Harris County.
That may be
And so are my children screaming.
that may be well right. But in life,
This might be the most important speech in the entire hearing. The judge isn't giving legal advice. He's giving survival advice. Courts reward cooperation, not escalation. Even when you think you're right, attitude can decide whether you walk out free or in cuffs. Hard truth, but an honest one.